The clock strikes 12, I step into the haze. Whispers call me from 1,000 graves. Shadows dance in corners out of sight. I chase the unknown deep into the night. I hunt the fear you dare not face. In the darkness I embrace the trace. The dead, they speak their secrets shown. Welcome to the bizarre and the unknown. A flicker, a chill, a shadowed hand. The unseen lingers where I stand. Through creaking doors and empty halls, I hear the echoes of forgotten calls. I hunt the fear you dare not face. In the darkness I embrace the trace. The dead, they speak their secrets shown. Welcome to the bizarre and the unknown. And the unknown. Eyes that watch from a place unreal, a touch so cold it makes you feel they're near but hidden, veiled in shade. I walk with ghosts, I'm unafraid. I hunt the fear you dare not face. In the darkness I embrace the trace. The dead, they speak their secrets shown. Welcome to the bizarre and the unknown.
It's showtime.
Hey everybody. Hey AJ. Welcome to another episode of Bizarre and the Unknown. This is the 100th episode. Y'all, we just hit 100 episodes today. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I was trying to think of something good to do for the 100th episode, and I was like, man, yeah, I'm an old vet, and I've ran into my fair and share of monsters while in the military, so why not do a military versus monster one? I'm trying to get my computer to work, but it's acting up because I'm trying to get my notes pulled over here to this other screen, and it's being a pain in the butt because I'm downloading Adobe sound auditing deal to try to make my sounds better when I do my investigations. So yeah, it's being a pain in the butt. Skeleton Hand gives me creeps. Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. Sorry, my youngest is texting me. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I've got about 3 or 4 stories pulled up. We'll see if we can make 2 hours out of it. If not, we can come up with another idea after it. If you guys missed it, I went live working on chapter 19 of Reign of the Draugr, Dawn of Armageddon earlier. So go make sure you go in there and check that one out. We're one chapter away from finishing the book. So we're going to talk about one that I didn't know about. So hey, Marcy, hey, Arlen, and I thought this was cool. Now this is a very, 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 very old one, really old one. So I had to do this one just because of what's involved with it. And it's called the Bhagirath River Serpent. And this comes back from the year 255 BC. This is old. In 256 BC, the First Punic War had been raging for 8 years. Its battlefield stretched across Sicily, and the water surrounded the island, with raids and skirmishes raging as far as the coast of Italy near Rome. Hey, Genocide. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm not watching it. I don't care about the NFL anymore, but I have a feeling the Seahawks are probably going to win it, though. I ain't going to lie to you. As much as I hate to root for the other side because of who's in the Super Bowl, I would have to go with them. Come on, man. In an effort to force an end to the hostilities, the Romans mounted an invasion north of Africa, a strategy only tried once before by Agatholes of Syrosis, leading their leading this expeditions. One of the consuls for 256-255 named Marcus Attilius Regulus. Heck no, I can't root for the Patriots. I just can't do it. The Tilly family supplied a number of successful commanders for the war, and it is fitting that one of them was to lead the army to Libya. This invasion, like that of Agath, I can't even spell that name or read that name. Agathocles, anyways, was not successful. It accumulated in what is variably known as the Battle of Tunis or the Battle of Bagradas in 255, and the utter destruction of the Regulus army. Of his 15,000 infantry and 500 cavalry, 2,000 were said to have escaped death or captured. Oh God, yeah, Kyle, yeah, that upset me. I don't watch NFL hardly anymore. The UFL though, UFL is I'm really liking it. The Romans were surrounded by the Carthaginians' cavalry and slowly grounded down by their elephants and the hardened citizen infantry, which made up the core of their battle line. The victory is typically ascribed to the tactical genius of Spartan mercenary Xanthippus. But before their final encounter with the Punic host and its Hellenic helmsmen, they met with the more sinister foe, a dragon. Y'all, I want to know, do you believe in dragons? Because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about dragons in this one here. So I wanted to see who in the chat believes in dragons. Do you believe they exist now or used to exist? And I'll be honest, I'm one of that's they used to exist. Yeah, I agree with Vicky. Marcy believes in dragons. And Mario believes in dragons. Vicky thinks they existed and still exist. Varsha said, my daughter always said they were real. Yeah, I believe they existed at one time. Hey, Auntie, I'm listening for RN. They used to exist and may still, was what AJ thinks. Cool. So let's look into the arrival of Africa into Africa. Regulus and his army had landed on Cape Bon, the promontory which extends from just south of Carthage in a northeasterly direction towards Sicily. From there, they marched towards Carthage, which took them through hostile territory thanks to both enemy settlements and the natural environment. It also forced them to march across the river Bagradas, the modern Medjidera River. It was here that they met with this this enemy, this dragon. They're out there, Kyle says. Heck yeah. Our oldest source for this event comes from us secondhand as a fragment from Ulus Gellus, who copied the version of Quintus Aelianus Tubrio in a. Sorry, I got to move my little. I don't know why that thing popped up way up there. Tubero was writing in the late 1st century BC when Gellus Attic Knights was assembled in the 2nd century AD. So I think the dragon spirits are still around. Hey, that could be that could be Marcy. Oops, do we have someone come in that I missed? Hey, Philip, how's it going? Hey, Bobby. So we're kind of seeing what this terrain was back for these Roman armies back then, which if anybody knows, the Roman army was the most hated army of the time because they literally were kicking everybody's butt back then. So many people wanted their head on the block. Oh, what is going on here? I just lost most of my notes. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Folks, give me a second. I am going to have to. What happened to my notes, man? That is weird. I'm going to have to look this up because I just lost most of my notes. Huh. There's a place in Arizona and Africa people never set foot in. Huh. Yeah, that ain't good. That's not good at all because this was a good. I mean, I had about two and a half pages of notes on just this subject alone. There are some who believe that the Tyrannosaurus rex had wings. The short front legs are the same as ostrich wing bones. I've heard that, Arlen. I've never seen anything in the fossil records that would suggest that. I have seen in the fossil records that they did have feathers at one time. But when it comes to wings, I haven't seen that. That doesn't mean it's not true, though. Let's go to Ancient World Magazine. When I was doing research earlier, they seemed to have the best description of what was going on with this river monster. Um, Okay, this pretty much covers up to where I was basically. They have a few more things in here than what I did. After his men finally delivered unto the. Oh, wait, nope. I went too far. So, okay, I want to use this. Is actually kind of works out because I want to use their. They have a lot more tellings of this than what I found earlier. And so this one here is from Tubrio. The consul Tillus Regulus, when encamped at the Bagridas River in Africa, fought a stubborn and fierce battle with a single serpent of extraordinary size, which had its lair in that region. That in a might struggle with their entire army, the reptile was attacked for a long time with her hurling enemies and catapults and or excuse me, hurling engines and catapults, and that when it was finally killed, its skin, 120 feet long, was sent to Rome. And they say the next earliest version of this comes from Prioche of Levay. In his works, we hear for book 18 that in Africa, Tillus Regulus killed an unnaturally enormous serpent with its significant losses to his forces. A more detailed version of Ivy's account can be found in Valerius Maximus Facta et Dicta Memorabilia, written during the reign of the Emperor Tiberius. He explicitly cites Leve for the story, giving it what the hell? That was weird. No, we didn't have the term dinosaurs coined in 1864. So yeah, I mean before then they were called dragons. The idea that what we've lost in his book 18, Val Max 1.8.19, my translation, see, the serpent of Bagridas River in Africa was such a size that it denied the army of Regulus access to the river. Many soldiers it seized in its enormous mouth and crushed them to death. Not a few of them with its whirling tail. It could not be penetrated by the missiles thrown at it. Finally, they attacked it with many stones launched from a ballast from every side. It was brought down by the weighty blows. After his men finally delivered unto the beast a killing blow, they were forced to move their camp from the area. Now polluted by the gases and goo emitting from this corpse, they waited around long enough, though, to skin it and send that off to Rome, as in Turbrio's account above. Even longer than that, preserved by Valerius Maximus, is the version of the Orisis, which may well derive from Leve. Regulus, chosen by lot for the Carthaginian War, marched with his army to a point not far from Bagrada River, and there pitched his camp. In that place, a reptile of astonishing size devoured many of the soldiers as they went down to the river to get water. Regulus set out with his army to attack the reptile. Neither the javelins they hurled nor the darts they rained upon its back had an effect. These glided off his horrible scaly fins as if from a slanting testudo of shields, and were in some miraculous fashion turned away from its body so that the creature suffered no injury. Finally, when Regulus saw that it was killing a great number of his soldiers with its bites, was trampling them by its charge, and driving them mad by its poisonous breath, he ordered the ballistae brought up. A stone taken from a wall was hurled by the Bastia. This struck the spine of the serpent and caused the entire body to become numb. The formation of the reptile was such that, though it seemed to lack feet, yet it had ribs and scales guarded evenly, extending from the top of its throat to the lowest part of its belly, and so arranged that the creature rested upon its scales as if one claw, and upon its ribs as in one leg. But it did not move like the worm, which was a flexible spine and moves by first stretching its contracted parts in the direction of its tiny body, and then drawn together the stretched parts. This reptile made its way by sinuous movements, extending its sides first right and then left, so that it might keep the line of ribs rigid along the exterior arch of the spine. Nature fastened the claws of its scale to its ribs, which extended straight to their highest point, making these moves alternately and quickly. It not only glided over levels, but also mounted inches, taking as many footsteps, so to speak, as its ribs. This is why the stone rendered the creature powerless. If struck by a blow in any part of the body from its bowels to its head, it is crippled and unable to move, because wherever the blow falls, it numbs the spine, which stimulates the feet and the ribs and the motion of the body. Hence, this serpent, which had a long time withstood so many javelins unharmed, moved about disabled from the blow of a single stone, and quickly overcame by spears, was easily destroyed. Its skin was brought to Rome. It is said to have been 120 feet in length, and for some time was an object of wonder to all. Hey, freaky geek. Did I miss anybody here? Okay, it don't look like I did. So, I mean, at first, when I first started, hey, David, when I first started hearing about this creature, I thought maybe they ran into a giant croc that they've never seen before. But if this thing's 120 feet long, was it like an old boa, maybe? Um, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you think it's a snake, or do you think it was an actual dragon? I hope I did not push Roxanne out of the chat. Oh, there she is. No, Roxanne will send her chomper munchers after you. So, I mean, giving this description, man, it does not sound like any type of serpent that I know. You know, it's got claws for feet. Kind of sounds like an anaconda, only maybe with scales. That's kind of what I was thinking too, Freaky. Honestly, you know, was this a type of prehistoric snake that we just didn't know about? You know, hey, Lynn. I mean, I don't know. The way they describe how it moves sounds just like a croc. How a croc would move. At the same time, the thing was 120 feet long, didn't have legs, but it had claws that it used to push itself along. It's weird. I mean, this thing is weird. Oh, you're fine. You're fine, Freaky. With the breath you mentioned, I say prehistoric snake. And that's funny you say that, Arlen, because if you study Nordic lure, it talks about Jormungandr, the world serpent that's wrapped around the world. During Ragnarok, I mean, it talks about how it spits out venom and gassy fumes. And this is what they're talking about here fits Jormungandr to a T. What if snakes used to be or descended from dragons? That's a good point. I mean, in the Bible it says the serpent went to Eve and convinced her to eat of the forbidden fruit, and therefore God cursed him to crawl on his belly. Are we seeing something like that? Was it, we're always taught it was snakes. It may not be snakes. It may be this thing right here. Like a note or an axolox without legs. Yeah, in the back. Yeah. You also believe the Jormungandr is a leviathan. It could be a type of, yeah. I mean, it could be it surrounds the world, and its tail is in its mouth. So yeah, absolutely, that can be a possibility. I mean, I can't dispute that. It could. I don't believe there's just one type of leviathan. I think there's several types of leviathan, and the one that the Bible talks about is one type. If you listen to the stories of all the other cultures throughout history, they talk about a type of leviathan as well. Are they talking about the same thing? That's possible. Or are they talking about different types? That's also possible. If you actually sit down and look at it, when the Norse talked about the Kraken before anybody else did, the Kraken was a leviathan. Jormungandr, I agree, is a leviathan. So, it's definitely in that realm of possibility. Snakes used to have legs until God cursed them. I was typing this as you spoke. Yeah. Seen a video, don't know if it was real or AI. A lizard had a huge flying bug in its mouth, and from the shadow's view, it looked like a tiny dragon. Oh, wow. Anything's possible. Yep. It seems like more than one type. I agree. I really think so too. I really do. You know, and I think, I mean, this could have been something from a prehistoric time. We know there's several artworks, carvings, and everything from ancient civilizations that dinosaurs, what we call dinosaurs nowadays, walked, hunted, and was hunted with humans. Humans rode them. Humans used them for labor. Humans hunted them, and they also hunted humans. Will you quit? You're going to tear a hole in it by doing that. So is that what we're looking at here? Are we looking something that was from prehistoric times? I think it's a good possibility. I'm doing pretty good, Freaky. How about you? It's interesting. The Romans have encountered so many of these cryptids and supernatural things, it's not even funny. I mean, they encountered dogmen, they encountered serpents. I mean, they encountered so much stuff. I mean, if memory serves me correctly, I know they even encountered werewolves, but if memory serves me correctly, I think they even ran into a Bigfoot style creature as well. The cold temps make me feel older than I want to be. Otherwise, I'm not bad working on it. Heck yeah, I know that feeling very well. Yeah, I know that feeling extremely well. So I don't know. I just found that interesting. I really did. And I've never heard about this encounter before from the Romans. So I was like, dude, I got to put this in. I mean, I have to put this in. It's one of the oldest encounters of running into a creature like that I've found. dealing with the military. It is about 81 here. We didn't even get a winter on my side of Arizona. Oh, wow. I don't remember how hot or warm it got today. It got really warm. It's like 56 now here. And the next story we're going to get into here momentarily is one of my favorites. It's an old one of the ones that I heard about years and years and years ago, and I'm pretty sure, if not everybody, most everybody in this chat's heard about this creature. And I'll give you a hint. It takes it's in France. 19 degree negative 19 Celsius here. I have no idea what that is in American terms, but in Fahrenheit, I'm guessing that's probably going to be around 1 or 2 degrees in Fahrenheit. I could be wrong. I don't remember how to do the math on that. Let me know if I'm close, Freaky. I think I'm close on that. I could be wrong, though. Does anybody got an idea what this next one is? Like I said, the hint is it takes place in France. Bonjour. Oui, oui. I was getting a kick earlier before the show started. Kyle and us was talking. He said he's better than average, and I started laughing because Yogi Bear popped in my head. Hey, boo boo, we're smarter than your average bear. Beef is something I can't spell. Yes, you are the Lucaroo, not the Lucaroo. Nope. Lynn's really close to it. Lynn is really, really close to it. We've done enough about the Lucaroo. Oh, negative 2.2. Thanks, Freaky. So, yeah, I was off. Wasn't far off, but I was off. There you go, Roxanne. You got it. The Beast of Gévaudan. Who all in here knows about the Beast of Gévaudan? Joan of Arc students. Yeah. Still, man, negative 2.2, Freaky. I'm sorry, man. I know that cold. I love that story. I do too. I do too. It's one of my favorite and oldest ones that I know. They covered in the newer series of Teen Wolf. Did they? I've never watched it, so I don't know. First time for you, David. You've never heard of the Beast of Gévaudan? Oh wow. Some math that I will never recall. Fahrenheit equals Celsius times 9 divided by 5 plus 30. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I do enough math for work. I don't need to try to figure that one out. I agree with you on that. Oops, I almost showed the label. Yeah. Now, this one here, this has got a lot of controversy with it. I couldn't spell it either. Knew it started with an E. Yeah, it actually starts with a G. Gévaudan. No, you and William are my teachers in most of this stuff. Oh yeah, David. I mean, this story is been told for a very long time, and it is one of the most told cryptid stories out there. Although they don't claim it's cryptid, they are. It is one of the most confirmed and controversial stories of an actual hunted cryptid. Oh, did you? Yeah, what I meant, fat fingers. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. They never found the creature. Did they or did they not, Roxanne? Between 1765 and 1767, an unknown creature killed over 100 people in a rural region of France and captivated a horrified world. About 100 men, women, and children reportedly fell victim to La Bête du Gévaudan. While many French at the time presumed the beast to be a wolf, and many modern scholars agree, some have suggested the beast may not have been a wolf at all. I don't know, Lynn. Let us find out. Thank you, Tanya. Autobots, transform and roll out. That has got to be your new theme, Tanya. That has got to be your new theme. I'm descending from the De Covel, but I've never heard of this. No kidding. Hey, Earth Water. Oh, negative 5.8 degree Fahrenheit in Ontario right now. Oh my God, you guys are getting the weather we had a couple weeks ago. My God, yeah, that's that's the cold that bites through you and hits the bone and even freezes the bone. Yeah, if I remember, they never found out or what did the killings. Actually, the guy who hunted it did, but he altered it to satisfy because he never. Well, we'll get into that. Never mind. We'll get into that. Okay. The first recorded fatal attack of the beast occurred on June 30th, 1764, when a 14-year-old shepherdess, Jean Bolette, tended a flock of sheep. Bolette was not the creature's first victim, as historian J.M. Smith writes in Monsters of Gévaudan. About 2 months prior, a young woman tending cattle was attacked by a creature like a wolf, yet not a wolf, but escaped because the herd defended her. We'll give you a brass monkey award. we had a negative 30 degrees Celsius about a week ago in Ontario. Oh my gosh. What you were getting ready to say was what the movie did also. Yes. So you know what movie I'm talking about. Yes. That movie was extremely accurate, Roxanne. Believe it or not, that movie was pretty doggone accurate. There was a lot of stuff left out, but it was pretty accurate. Saturday was 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Today is 29. Ooh, man. The attacks continued through the summer and into autumn, according to George M. Eberhardt's 2002 book, Mysterious Creatures, A Guide of Cryptozoology. France was in a slump at the time. On the heels of the 7 Years' War, the nation had lost battles to Persia and the British. And Louis the 15th had lost overseas colonies. The beast offered a perfect foil to rally around, and there was no death of reports in the press about encounters with animals. Oops. The vet for feroz, the ferocious beast, attacked and particularly ate women and the young. According to reports, but lone adult men were also targeted. There were so many attacks that some speculated there were in fact 2 or more of these creatures. And I believe the movie Freaky is called Beast of Gévaudan. Oh. A critter escapes from a royal with a zoo. Yeah. Brotherhood of the Wolf. Thank you. Yes, Roxanne. Brotherhood of the Wolf. That's right. Yes, Brotherhood of the Wolf. That is a good movie. I've not seen that in a long. Now I'm going to want to watch it after doing the show. The terrified populace of Gévaudan did not sit idle, and individual stories of bravery captivated the public. As Smith writes, bounties were offered, and hunters combed the countryside looking for the creature. October 8th, 1764, hours after a mauling, the beast was seen at Chateau de la Baume, stalking a herdsman. Hunters followed the animal into the estate's woods and flushed the animal into the open. The hunters shot a volley of musket fire into the creature, but after a fall, the beast rose and ran off. It's on Tubi. Oh, cool. I got Tubi. Yeah, I got Tubi. So yeah, I might have to be watching that tonight. Is there not a new TV show about the same name? I don't know. I think I can't remember if it was Lynn or Auntie said that the new Teen Wolf TV series talked about it once. I saw that movie. It was on Tubi. Yep. Some theory is that it could have been a hyena. That is a theory. That is one of the theories. Yes. Even children were celebrated for taking on the beast. On January 12th, 1765, the beast attacked the 10-year-old Jacques Porfex and a group of 7 friends ranging from ages 8 to 12. However, Portefeuille led a counterattack with sticks, driving off the creature. Louis XV rewarded the children, and Portefeuille was given an education paid for by the crown. The children's heroics promoted the court of King Louis XV to send royal hunters to destroy the beast. There was now a 6,000 livre bounty on the creature's head. Basically, is $6,000. The story of the beast, meanwhile, was spread and covered in newspapers from Boston to Brussels, becoming one of history's first media sensations. Oh, thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that. Among the most notable tales of bravery, let me put this over here where I can see it better. Among the most notable tales of bravery was when 19 or 20-year-old Marie Jean Valette was attacked by the beast on August 11, 1765, while crossing the river Desgues with her sister. Armed with a bayonet fixed to a pole, Valette impaled the beast's chest. The creature got away, but Valette became known as the Amazon and the Maid of Gévaudan. On September 20th, 1765, Franciscus Antoni, the king's 71-year-old gun bearer, and his nephew shot a large wolf near an abbey at Chais, which was assumed to be the beast. Antony was awarded money and titles, and the corpse of the animal was stuffed and sent to the royal court. So this is where you're starting to get the misinterpretation of it, Roxanne. A wolf-dog hybrid. Could be. So in Brotherhood of Wolf, they have the main character shoot a wolf and stuff it, and you're seeing where the misconception is on that. But attacks started again in December, according to an account in the 1898 volume of Parisian Illustrated Review. This time the beast seemed different, at least behaviorally. Where before the creature had been afraid of cattle, this time it showed no fear. No fear. Was this a second beast? You guys think it was the same one, or do you think it was a different one? But they did kill off all the wolves in the area, supposedly. Yes, I believe you're correct on that. So I want to see your guys' thoughts. Do you think this is a different beast or the same one? I am humbled by the fact that I was present for your 100th live stream. Thank you, Arlen. Yeah, it's awesome. I got to start getting stuff put together for when we hit 1,000 subscribers, because I'm going to have to do 10 giveaways when we hit 1,000 subscribers. So I got to start getting my button gear and start getting stuff. Different. They were a pair originally. You think so? Huh? It could be. I can't say no. I don't know. But that is definitely a good possibility. Wolf dog hybrid, large, maybe. Could be. I'm thinking it's more werewolf personally. Beasts do migrate. They absolutely. I personally think the Beast of Jevadon was a werewolf. I really do. If it wasn't a werewolf, it was a dog man. By the way its actions are when you hear about these encounters and what it mainly focused on, really leads me to more towards it was a werewolf, a lookaroo. That's just my opinion. The royal court chose to ignore these new attacks, insisting that Antoni had killed the creature. Finally, a sudden outbreak of attacks in early June 1767 compelled the local nobleman, the Marquis de Apchir, to organize a hunt. On June 19th, one of the hunters, a local man named Jean Chastel, shot a wolf on the slopes of Mount Mochet. Yeah, we will never know. Kyle, werewolf. Yeah, I think it could be very well Lucaroo. Just giving what the encounters are, it is too focused and orientated on females. Yes, there are males that were attacked or unalived by them. Most of the attacks happened on females, both older and younger, which leads me more towards I think it was a Lucaroo. An autopsy then revealed human remains inside, and the animal had non-wolf characteristics as described by witnesses. The attacks ended, but while it was assumed that the beast Chastel bagged was the beast, doubts remain that it was indeed a wolf. The beast was consistently described by eyewitnesses as something other than a typical wolf. It was as large as a calf or sometimes a horse. The coat was reddish gray with a long, strong, panther-like tail. The head and legs were short-haired and the color of deer. It had black stripes on the back and talons on its feet. Many drawings of the beast at the time endowed it with lupine characteristics. Too easily slipped away, no trace. Yep. Out of 210 attacked, 98 were eaten. There you go. Wolves in France are not as big as wolves in America, such as timber wolves, I think, Dogman. Bobby, I agree. That's a good possibility. Wood up doe. Hey, Christopher. 113 deaths, 49 injuries. You're lurking. That's fine, man. We'll watch Brotherhood of after live. There's also something called Brotherhood of the Brew. Hey, brew. I like brew. There may not be partaking of an adult brew, apple brew right now. It's apple juice. Dire wolves. That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. Lurking is good when you're working. Yeah. My dad had gone, so it's choppy on my end. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. They were the size of red wolves, really small ones, I think. There you go. Yeah. My brew is tea. The beast was consistently described by eyewitnesses as something other than a. Oh, wait, I already read that one. Witness described the beast as an ambush hunter that stalked the prey and seized it by the throat. The wounds found on the bodies were typically to the head and limbs, which the remains of 16 victims reportedly decapitated. The creature prowled in the evenings and in the mornings. So, I mean, we're seeing kind of a pattern here. And, even I'll read this one part again because I think this is a very important description of theirs. There could have been a hidden popularity. Absolutely, Bobby, there could have been. The beast was consistently described by eyewitnesses as something other than a typical wolf. It was as large as a calf or a horse. The coat was reddish gray with a long, strong, panther-like tail. The head and legs were short-haired and the color of a deer. It had black stripes on its back and talons on its feet. Many drawings of the beast at the time endowed it with lupine characteristics. I think that's extremely important right there. There are a lot of programs, movies with beast in the name. Yep. Little bigger than a coyote. Yep. Extremely shy. Yep. So I that's why I mean that description right there is a big reason why I think it was a Lukaru werewolf. I think it was a werewolf. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion on it, and I've studied this for a long time. This is one of my favorite encounters. Even though this is not really military based, it was because a lot of your royal hunters were in the military. I had to put this in there because not only is it my favorite, but it has to do somewhat with the military. We have all sorts of canines in the area. Never seen more than a fox myself, but they are out there. Yeah, I've seen red wolf, Missouri timber wolves, fox, red fox, gray fox. I've seen, oh my gosh, coyotes, lupine characteristics, but cat-like tail. Could be a part cat and wolf, or it could be a bipedal feline, like what I'm dealing with out here. They just didn't know about that type at the time, so the characteristics would have been called lupine because that's what they were familiar with. That is a good point, though. They raised them at the zoo here to repopulate the Smoky Mountains. There's a lot of people doing that in Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, there's a lot of places doing that to repopulate the area because of overhunting on the stupid prejudiced stuff that was going on that led to the annihilation of them. There would have been more crusaders bringing animals back. Good point. That's a possibility. Absolutely. My adult apple juice is gone. So I don't know. I mean, my opinion is I think it's a Lukaroo. If it's not, I believe it's definitely a feline type, basically a werecat. Yep, there is hybrids of wolf and coyotes. Yep, they're wanting repopulated by repopulate the gray wolf in the Ozarks. Gray wolves are thick. I've been seeing them most of my life here. I've got them on my trail cam. Missouri conservation just ain't intelligent, or they just hide stuff from us quite often. Another video I've seen, and I'm thinking hard on the AI side of things, or of griffins about a week after their birth of hatching. I personally think that's 100% AI freaky, but that's just me. They killed them all out in 1800s in the Smokies. Yeah, they did in a lot of places, Kyle. They really did because of that stupid stereotypical stereotype, and it was mass fear from mass media bullcrap about these wolves being as aggressive as they were. Most of your aggressive encounters, not all, so don't take me wrong. What I'm saying, most of your aggressive encounters is not by a wolf, but a wolf dog hybrid. The type of hyena that is in Iraq, it's woolly and big. There you go, Lynn. I mean, yeah. And I can't remember. I think it was Roxanne talked about it earlier in the show. That it was, she thought it was a type of hyena, which came from the movie Brotherhood of the Wolves. Yes, I did. There you go. But that's why I had to put that in there. I don't know what you guys think about that. I mean, me personally, I do think that fits in with military versus monsters because of the royal hunters. And I love it. The Beast of Gévaudan. If you guys want a very good read, an interesting read, do your research on Beast of Gévaudan. It's just, I love it. I mean, and like I said, it's one of my favorites. It's an old one and one of my favorites. In the movie, it was a lion in a metal spike suit. That's right. Thank you, Roxanne. You're right. I remember that now. I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years, somewhere around 20 years or more. It may even be longer than that. I can't remember. Somewhere between 20 and 30 years is how long it's been since I've seen the movie. I remember I watched it before I went in the Marine Corps in 99 with mom and dad. Now, I've not seen the movie since, so I got to see it again. But I remember, I think it was grade school or middle school. We actually covered the Beast of Gévaudan in world history. You've got the video. There you go. What year was that made, Roxanne? I can't remember. I'm wanting to say, I'm pretty sure it was 90. It was somewhere around 99 when I saw it last. I was taking footage of some animal prints in the snow today. Oh, cool, Christopher. I can't wait to see that. There's a story and there's a theory. It is a French nobleman that served with Joan of Arc, who was a sadistic serial killer. I think I've heard of that. I could be wrong, but it does sound familiar. I was taking footage of some animal prints in the. Oh, yep. Oh, you have to look. Yeah. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was somewhere around 99 when I saw it. Nothing out of the ordinary. Oh. Oh, it popped up again. You think it was? Yeah, I think so too. This next one, it's more popular nowadays than what it used to be. I think it needs more recognition. The fact that Josh Gates actually recognized this and did a show on it does me good because people are finally taking notice of this. But I heard about these things even in the military from old Vietnam veterans. That's how I knew about it before it really started getting any popularity. But it needs more popularity. It really does. It popped up again. Now I'm thinking Pop Goes to Weasel. Gliss de Res, I believe, is his name. Could be Catmandu. Yep. Who in the chat knows about? Well, let's see here. I want to see how many of you guys are familiar or got a good idea of what I'm going to be talking about. These things, like I said before, the Vietnam veterans talk about these things. And let's see who chat can guess what I'm about ready to talk about next. I'm going to Kathmandu. Bob Seger. Bob Seger was a great singer. It was 2001 when it came out. Okay, thank you, Roxanne. I knew it was somewhere around that time. I must have been home on leave whenever I seen it. Damn, three of you right off the bat. Lynn, AJ, Roxanne, yes, rock apes. Marcy, yes, rock apes. These things are cool, and for a long time, these things weren't talked about at all. But I remember sitting down with Vietnam veterans talking about these things. Rock apes, or batutus, as they are called in Vietnam, are nowhere near as well known as the famous cryptid sightings of Bigfoot. Sightings of these mysterious creatures by American troops in the jungles of Vietnam throughout the course of the Vietnam War were surprisingly numerous, with many witnesses giving extremely detailed accounts of the sightings. Rock Apes and not Rock of Ages. Yeah, which I got that movie. One particular hill in Vietnam was the site of so many rock ape sightings that it became known as Monkey Mountain. While no corpses of these strange creatures were ever recovered or any clear picture taken of them, the fact that the sightings of them were so widespread throughout the war makes them worthy of at least an investigation. And that's why I'm so glad that Josh Gates finally recognized it and actually did a show on these rock apes. And I think he actually found some possible really good evidence, if memory serves me correctly. Rock apes were so named because many reports mentioned them throwing rocks, usually in retaliation, though after the rocks were thrown at them first. I know some vets that came across them more than once when I worked out of the Vietnam Veterans Outreach Center in the late 1980s. Yes, yes, you are correct. Um, it was basically the soldiers were throwing rocks at these things first, and these rock apes would get mad and throw them back. Remember the two lions in Africa that were serial? Yes, yes. I can't remember the name. Ghost, I think, and something else. I can't remember the names. They were also said to toss grenades hurled at them back at the throwers, on occasion described as being up to 6 feet tall, strongly built with long limbs and protruding stomachs. The rock apes or batutus were said by witnesses to be covered in brown or reddish brown hair. They were also thought to be to live in groups rather than living solitary existences, and their habitat was confirmed to be remote areas of the jungle, far from human habitation, areas that the Vietnam War opened up. Ghost in the darkness. Yes, Tanya, but I was trying to remember the names of the lions. But yes, Ghost in the Dark, Lions of Tazvo. Yep. I believe one of them's name was Ghost, and I can't remember the spirit. Maybe I can't remember the other one's name. But yes, the Ghost in the Darkness. I need to watch that movie. I haven't seen that one in a while. That's a good movie. That's a really good movie. That was the Lions. Okay. Hey, Carl. How you doing, package delivery guy? I'm waiting on my package tomorrow. At first, the description of these creatures seemed to point to the fact that they may have simply been misidentified orangutans. And this is funny. Just got that title. Eric beat me. That is their names. Okay. I thought they had separate name though. Oh, Ghost and the Darkness. Okay. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The bodies were recovered and the government would not share that info. Yeah, and they're displayed over in, I can't remember where they're displayed at now. Huh. I remember they're stuffed and displayed somewhere and they're falling apart. Um, it was believed that they had bad teeth, but a forensic test later was conducted and the human hair and stuff were lodged in healthy teeth. There you go. Yeah. Howdy doody. But while orangutans once did inhabit Vietnam, they became extinct 3,000 years ago. And this is where I have a problem with this theory. Just because they think something's extinct does not mean they are extinct. I think that there is a good possibility that the Vietnamese orangutans still exist. There are so many remote jungles, parts of the jungles in Vietnam that humans don't go, that if something like that still existed, would have a very good place to hide. And I don't know how many times scientists are proven wrong daily that what they said was extinct is not extinct. So I don't think they were misidentifying them, but I do not believe that these Vietnamese, because there is many reports of these Vietnamese orangutans that are not called rock apes or batutus. They literally are called orangutan in these remote regions. Yep. Plenty of fish they think are gone are just hidden deeper in the waters. Absolutely. Um, Much of what the troops in Vietnam reported about the rock apes doesn't really match the typical orangutan behavior. While orangutans are sometimes social animals, they spend far more time foraging alone, and that's something else. That's something just came across an old girlfriend, and I thought she was extinct. Josh Gates even got footprints of Yeti. Yes, he did. The lions at 8 in the or at the Chicago Field Museum and the lion. Okay, yeah. So the orangutans that supposedly went extinct 3,000 years ago, just because the modern orangutan is solitary, I do not believe that is true with the prior orangutans. And this is my reasoning. We're basing this concept off of modern orangutans. Just like other creatures, we're basing it on modern creatures. 3,000 years ago, the world was completely different than what it is now. There was more hunters or predators and different types of predators. I believe it is possible that these earlier versions of orangutans probably grouped together much like monkeys do, apes do, gorillas do nowadays for protection. So just because something modern doesn't do it does not mean the previous version was the same way. And that is a problem with science nowadays. They focus way too much on modern times and do not consider the differences that could have been prior to modern animals. Eric, you had that old face, yeah. Our old soul, yep. I mean, I don't know what you guys feel on that. Personally, I'm a big believer in that. We cannot base pre existences on modern existences. There's too many things out there that act differently nowadays than they even did 100 years ago, let alone 1,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. So I do not like when they talk about the top of the hour. Thank you, Roxanne. Give me 1 second and we'll play some Dark Angel Medical. Let me finish up with this thought. I mean, you guys may agree with me and may not. It is what it is. I personally believe they were different back then. Let me get this ready for the top of the hour commercial here. Here we go. Some Dark Angel Medical. If you're looking for the best first aid kits and trauma kits on the market, look no further than Dark Angel Medical. I use them. I have them. The one in the commercial is the one that I put on my field pack. I believe in their product so much. I do not get paid for advertising for Dark Angel Medical. I asked Kerry Pocket Doc Davis if I could promote his product on my show because that's how much I believe in his product. They are not cheap, folks. They're not. They're not cheap. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You pay for what you get. You buy a cheap kit, you get cheap kit products. You buy the good kits like Dark Angel Medical, you get good kit products. It's worth the money. Like me, if you don't have the money to pay for one outright, I use Sezzle. 4 payments, the thing's paid off. I love Sezzle when it comes to buying these kits. I'm buying another headrest kit soon for my work truck so that I can have one there too. If you use DA's code Cryptid20, you'll get 20% off. If you have FSA or HSA, you can use that to buy his kits. Kerry is the godfather of Kit for Life. He is the very first one that came for that with a Kit for Life program. Nobody did a Kit Life prior than Kerry Pocket Doc Davis. If you use that kit and you let him know what you use in that kit to save a life, he will replace what you use for absolutely free. If you want some good, if you need some recertifications, or just want some good training in first aid and trauma, Doc is certified in all that stuff. You can get a hold of him. He can come down. He can teach a group of you guys what you need to know, or recertify you guys. He is legally able to recertify you. So I highly recommend reaching out to him to get recertified. You will not be disappointed. Doc is an amazing teacher. He will set you right. If you want some good refresher classes, just kind of get you back on par, you go to youtube.com at Dark Angel Medical 5115 or Instagram to Dark Angel Medical. And Doc puts a little bit of these videos out there teaching you how to use these kits and how to do these first aid and trauma treatments. I highly recommend going over and checking those out. Freaky says some pictures of chimps wearing makeshift masks. Yes, there is. Hey, Corey. 200 birthdays in boxes. Yeah, are saved. Yes, you're right, Roxanne. Thank you. If there were more predators, it makes sense for them to group up. Absolutely, Bobby. Yes, they do. I have an EDC and an ouch pouch. There you go, Bobby. Yeah. I mean, I love his products. I got extreme latency. No worries, Christopher. Okay, we're caught up on that. Another possible candidate for misidentification is the northern white-cheeked gibbon, which is native to Vietnam. Like the mysterious rock apes, these gibbons live in large social groups and spend most of their time in trees, but the size descriptions do not match up. No worries, Christopher. You're fine, buddy. Gibbons are far smaller than 6 foot. Heavily built rock apes are smaller than the 6 foot heavily built rock apes. With male white-cheeked gibbons weighing in an average of 20 pounds, that there tells you it's not a misidentification. Some rock ape sightings, however, may well have been gibbons because the rock apes in question were said to be only about 3 foot tall. Sightings of the rock apes by Viet Cong and NVA troops were also common enough that an NVA General Hong Min Tao, organized an expedition in 1974 to try to capture or at least unalive one of these legendary creatures. The expedition was unsuccessful, though, and had no hard evidence for the existence of rock apes were ever found. Another expedition organized by Professor Vo Khoi of the Vietnam National University was similarly unsuccessful. However, strange human-like but not human footprints were found in the jungle in 1970 by Professor Tran Hong Viet of the Hanoi's Pedagogic University. He made cast of the footprints, but found no further evidence of rock apes' existence. Something quite striking about many sightings of the rock apes reported by American troops is the fact that these creatures show little to no fear of humans. Hey, Larry, how's it going? For 26 years, I was certified as a first responder on my job. I administrated first aid until EMs got there. Yeah, heck yeah. Thank you for doing that. That's awesome that you did that. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm caught up. Going good. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Larry. They displayed this trait to such an extent that startled troops out on patrol in the jungle would allegedly often happen upon rock apes at distance. Thank you so much for that $5 super sticker, Bobby. You're awesome, man. I appreciate you so much for that. You're badass. Happy 100. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much for that. You're awesome, dude. Found a new barbecue place. Oh, you lucky dog. Often getting quite a fright as they thought they had just came across an enemy patrol rather than a group of monkeys or a group of apes. This apparent lack of fear of humans could be explained by the fact that rock apes inhabited ranges that were usually so far away from humans that they saw them as no threat, or if reports about their large size were accurate, they saw human beings as too small or weak to present a significant threat to them. On at least one occasion, in fact, a large group of rock apes were said to have attacked a group of Marines in mass. There's a video of gibbon teasing two adolescent tigers. The gibbons move through the trees like lightning. Yes, yes, they do. They are wicked fast. Walking in, I think I get a meat high. Oh, keep bragging about it, bro. Just keep bragging about it, Larry. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make some rib tip butts for dinner tonight. Or rib tips. So yeah, these things were even said to attack a group of Marines. I mean, you know they ain't got no fear if you're trying to jack with Marines. That's just not intelligent. Did YouTube give shields to all mods now? I have no idea. I can't see what it looks like, so I have no idea, Roxanne. One of my friends is a retired zookeeper. She said an ape escaped in the most feared and trained for. Oh, she said an ape escape is the most feared and trained for. Heck yeah. An explanation, but fraught with skeptics and explained away the rock ape phenomenon, is that these creatures were mere hallucinations conjured up by the troubled imagination of young men who were in hostile, inhospitable environment and under extreme stress, with their lives under constant threat. The perfect sort of environment and conditions for the young brain to conjure up illusions. I strongly disagree with this. You don't see it, or Spears? I strongly disagree with this skeptic. You know, oh, Corey's got one too. Okay. And I'll tell you why. I spent 13 years in the military. I spent my first part of my career hunting drug cars, cartel, and pirates, and some terrorism. But terrorism wasn't our main focus and wasn't rampant until 9/11 happened. I've been in some very unhospitable places. I have been under some extreme stress. I have literally faced death on multiple occasions doing my job as a Marine. And I have never once hallucinated. I strongly disagree with this one here. That's my opinion. Just from my experiences of 13 years, 4 deployments, and multiple other missions that I've been on, and never, ever have had a hallucination like that. So I don't know what you guys believe. How's that, baby? Oh no, I think baby kitty's wanting in. Meow. Oh, it's you, Aurora. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Like I said, that's just my opinion from my personal experiences, and not any. I've served with many, many phenomenal men and women in the military, and neither of them have ever experienced that either. My dad is a Marine, 2 tours in Vietnam. Hell yeah, Tammy. Good to see you in here. Tell him I said Semper Fi. Carl says, Eric, yes, but did you drink out of a horse's hoof print and leave no tracks when you walked in the snow? No, but I have partaked of things I'd rather not talk about to survive. Well, I'll give you a little bit of hint. You can filter your pee up to 5 times before it becomes lethal. That's all I'm going to say. I got to go see what has my dog stirred up. It might be kind of, hey, let me know, Corey. Some so-called experts also claim that the use of marijuana may have served to further prime the troops' minds for illusions. Even though it is not a hallucinogenic drug, while a true psychedelic drug like LSD would certainly have produced this kind of visual hallucinations that could account for the rock ape sightings, it was not widely used by troops in war. That's another one. Oh, you messing with me? Lynn, yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll just leave that at that. Yes, Lynn, I agree. um, oh, yeah, that's right. Yes. If you're a member of the, which I need to do a live for the members only. Depending on what tier you are, you have that could be where the shield comes from. This is another one that I strongly disagree with. I may or may not, for a very long time, up until July of 2017, partaken of broccoli from all over this world ever since I was 14 years old. I'm not confirming, I'm not denying this. And I've never hallucinated. Oh, okay. It could be because you're a member. So this is why I strongly disagree with broccoli being a catalyst for the illusions. Could be. Yep. I don't know how you guys feel on that. Yeah. I garden regularly since 13. No hallucinations. There you go, Lynn. Exactly. And I have literally partaken of broccoli that's won 4 gold cup medals in Amsterdam, or may have partaken of broccoli that has won 4 gold cup medals in Amsterdam. And I've never hallucinated. Mine should turn red next month. Heck yeah, Bobby. Eric, some folks, when partaking of herbs, become more clear headed, no hallucinations. Exactly. So that's why I strongly disagree with this theory when it comes to explaining these rock apes. So, yeah, I'm sorry, man. That dog just don't hunt for me. I literally think they've seen the Vietnamese version of Bigfoot called Batutus or rock apes, however you want to call them. And we're going to keep with the Vietnamese theme. What other creature do you guys think we're getting to talk about next? And this will be, I believe this is the last one. Sweet. So it looks like I am going to hit that. I'm going to do pretty good with these for the 2 hour mark. I want to see, what do you guys think the next thing from Vietnam that I'm going to be talking about? Let's see if you guys know your knowledge. As I'm waiting for your replies, this is going to be me. I love those things. I need to get some more of them uploaded. One I've never seen, I'm sure. Yep. Not the water serpentine, Maine. I covered that in with the Romans in 255 BC. That is good to see you, but that is a good one. If in the first one that I talked about tonight, what happened in 255 BC with the Romans. Nope, not a giant turtle. No worries, man. No worries. Man. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not going to say, Freaky. Giants? Nope. Flying humanoids and UFOs. Mama San, the mythical Mama San. Hey, Mama San took care of me. What was your dog barking at, Corey? This one here, you're going to have to be more like.
I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
These things are awesome. And they're another one of the very highly reported things by soldiers in Vietnam. I hallucinate one time, rock gut, moonshine. Oh, God, yeah, I know that. Oh, I know that feeling. Oh, God, I'm getting sick to my stomach just thinking about it. I know that feeling very well, Bobby. And 2 for 1. Yeah. Okay. Keep me updated if something keeps going on. While the rock apes may have been the most frequently encountered of Vietnam during the Vietnam War, they were far from the only strange entities reported by soldiers during the conflict. Accounts of flying humanoids and unidentified flying objects added to even more otherworldly layers to the already bizarre and the unknown encounters of the wartime anomalies. Hey, Tammy. Oops. The flying humanoids, described as winged human-like creatures, were often spotted in the vicinity of military installations and bases. Eyewitnesses report seeing the entities gliding silently through the air, their large bat-like wings propelling them effortlessly across the night sky. Some accounts even describe the creatures as having glowing, otherworldly eyes that seem to pierce in the darkness. Flying monkeys. You guys got an idea of what these things sound very much like? Like bat humans. Hell yeah. These things fit 2 different descriptions very well. And I'll mention the 2 descriptions here in a little bit. So I'm kind of curious. What does this thing sound like? And I know that many of us have covered these 2 subjects before. If you hear about burning my place to the ground with me and still inside, it'll most likely have been a crawler. That's one of them. Roxanne, Mothman, yes. Devil monkeys, no. Mothman is one. One of the most compelling accounts of a flying humanoid encounter comes from the U.S. Air Force Private Sinclair Tyler, who was stationed at Camp Okubo near Kyoto, Japan in 1952. Tyler reported seeing a massive winged creature that he initially mistook for a giant bird. As the entity drew closer, however, he realized that it had the body of a man standing approximately 7 foot tall with a wingspan to match. Terrified by the sight, Tyler opened fire on the creature, but when he went to investigate it, it had vanished without a trace. Not devil monkeys. There are devil monkeys, but we're not talking about Jeepers Creepers. Look at those peepers. The the Jeepers Creepers monster. Yeah. Well, I saw a human-sized bat one on one of those Facebook reels earlier. Did you? Oh wow. He got a bite on his ear, so I'm thinking coyote. Yeah, it could be. The flying humanoid sighting were not limited to Vietnam War, with similar reports emerging from various parts of the world throughout history. This infamous Mothman of West Virginia and the Owl Man, that was the other one I was looking for, Owl Man, of Cornwall, England, are just two examples of winged humanoid creatures. They have captured the public's attention and sparked countless theories about the origins of natures. In addition to the flying humanoids, soldiers in Vietnam also reported numerous sightings of unidentified flying objects throughout the conflict. These sightings were not limited to American forces, with Vietnamese troops on both sides of the war also claiming to have witnessed strange aerial anomalies. Reports of the bizarre and unknown phenomenons, such as electrical disturbances, unexplained equipment malfunction, and the sudden appearance of mysterious lights in the night sky, often accompanied the UFO encounters. We have an owl man in Florida called Stickney. Oh, cool. Okay, red eyes. I think I've even seen pictures. Yeah, devil monkeys are an American thing. The red eyes made me think of them. My bad. No worries, Lynn. Hey, that was a good call. I mean, that's a good choice. A lot of people though forget about Owlman. That's why I had to put that in there, because I knew I was going to catch people on that one. There's an old video of an owl man. I just lost it. It's shot past. Where'd you go? There's an old video of an owl man like in South America somewhere. Yep, there is. The presence of UFO sightings during the Vietnam War has led some researchers to speculate about a potential connection between these aerial phenomenons and the Vietnam War. Could the flying humanoids and UFOs be related to the rock apes and other strange creatures encountered in the jungle? Are they all part of a larger incorporated mystery that transcends our current understanding of the natural world? These are very good questions. Various things for us to think about. As with the rock apes, the true nature of the flying humanoids and UFOs reported during the Vietnam War remains the subject of intense debate and speculations. Some researchers suggest that these sightings could be attributed to misidentification of a natural phenomenon, which is true. I cannot deny that. Misidentification happens quite often. Such as large birds or atmospheric anomalies. In contrast, others propose more wild explanations, such as extraterrestrial visitors or interdimensional crossovers. Regardless, the accounts of the flying humanoids and UFOs add an even more complex, intriguing layer to the mystery of the Vietnam War. Cool. We still got some time. You know what they call bat chicken of the cave. Yeah, it's I mean, and I can tell you now, I've seen and experienced a lot of strange stuff in the military all over this world. I've been, I've told you guys before, I've been dealing with paranormal since I was 3. I've been dealing with the supernatural since I was 9. And I've been dealing with the cryptids since I was 12. And I've experienced them all over the US and I've experienced them all over the world. I do not believe these things are hallucinations. I do not believe all of them are misidentification. Yes, Lynn, I got that. I thought I commented. Did I not? I apologize if I didn't. I thought I commented and let you know that was cool. That was some pretty good possible captures of Bigfoot. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's hard to make out. It was hard to make out on my phone, but they look pretty good from on my phone. But I don't know. What do you guys think about these creatures we talked about today in the military encounters from dating back from 255 BC to Vietnam? No worries. I may have forgot to. Honestly, I've been multitasking today. I did a live earlier, working on chapter 19. We finished chapter 19 of Reign of the Draugr, Dawn of Armageddon. William wasn't feeling good and didn't go live, so I went live for a couple hours working on chapter 19, and plus everything else I've been doing today. So, I mean, I may have forgot to reply, but I could have swore I did. And if I did, it may not have sent because of I was dealing with some issues on my internet. Your cats. Your cats are cryptids in themselves right there. Tanya might be doing something to get you in trouble. I can see it. Look at Tanya. Eric, my daughter may get a hold of you on Messenger later about a recurring nightmare and a full-on apparition she saw in our living room late a couple nights. Okay, yeah. Have her hit me up. Have her hit me up, Marcy. I'll try to help her out with it as best I can. So, you guys got any questions? Physics proves so much about energy. Oops, I just lost it. Physics proves so much about energy that it's possible explanation for how things are stored in geologically. I don't think we know everything, but there are patterns and energy can't be destroyed only. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Marcy. Or charged only, yeah. Trouble. Enthusiasm. Trouble, enthusiasm. Mischievous behavior. Our powers combined. I am Tanya. Hey, Isabel, how's it going? Wrong question. Tanya's about to get in trouble. Neener, neener, neener. Oh, I don't know, man. I love these things. I love doing these stories about military encounters with monsters and strange things because people don't realize, and we're told not to talk about this stuff. Does it leak out? Yeah, it leaks out. I've leaked stuff out. Other people's leaked stuff out. We don't care. We just don't care. Once upon a time, Uncle Fluffy put in your own story. Yeah, it's. I can tell you at nighttime, doing guard on nighttime, sucks and weird crap happens. A lot of weird crap happens at night. I can tell you that. Around military bases, I don't know what it is. Something about military bases at nighttime, weird crap happens. Having strained wireless problems with my computer multiple. Yeah, I was having problems with my internet earlier and having a high freak out today. Just stopped acting out, actually. Well, I'm glad you stopped acting out, Isabel. It's good to have you in here. So-called scientists have told us things throughout time. Um, how many things came to be? The Mount St. Helens proved them wrong, and the Grand Canyon wasn't formed away. Yeah, I've always had a problem with them saying the Grand Canyon um, was formed by a glacier. I'm sorry, that was not formed by a glacier. My speakers just stopped acting out. Oh, I was on YouTube a few hours ago and my computer suddenly freaked out, mouse all over the place. Had to reboot computer to stop it. Oh, wow. Yeah, I had to reboot my Starlink because it just all of a sudden stopped working. So I had to get on there and it took me damn near an hour to get everything rebooted and set back up and going. I don't know. I mean, must have had a solar flare or something going on to cause the stuff to act up today. Scientists only have theories that may or may not be factual in my thinking. Yes, I agree. Sunspots. Yeah, that could be. Yeah. It's one of those days. It was a nice day, though, out here. I mean, here was a nice day. But they really do affect computers and networks in unusual ways. That's what I understand. I mean, I don't know for sure. I've never dived deep into it, but that's what I've heard most of my life. So I can't dispute it because I have nothing to dispute it with. But I also know they have technologies out there to jack with that stuff. Why don't we ever hear about moonspots? We do. We just don't tell you, freaky. Um, I'm like, there was um, when I was stationed in Kaneohe Bay, Hawaii, and I was married to my first wife. My stepson's room was on the other side of a wall of ours. And when me and my ex-wife would do marital relations, I guess is a good way to say that. Every now and then we'd get visited, and this is one of the few full body apparition experiences I've had. But a World War II Marine would walk into our room quite often, and it didn't even have to be doing relations. It's just he was very frequent in our home and manifested quite frequently in our home. And I remember I would have to tell him, it's like, hey, look, dude, me and my wife's about to get some business done. Do you mind leaving for a little bit? And he would turn around, walk through the wall, and go into my stepson's room. It's less frequent now. The shielding is better, but in the '90s, I saw some stuff. Well, yeah. I'd love to hear about that sometime. Bluetooth or blue screen of death twice on this computer, and speakers are just magnets. Yeah. Uncle Fluffy with his red cloak and basket skipping down the trail, stop and saw two glowing eyes. My, what big eyes you have, said Uncle Fluffy. Yep. We have an owl and oh, did my chat just jump? I think my chat just jumped on me. Give me a second here. Let me. Okay. Okay. Yep, it did. Okay. Oh, Eric was pretending to do push-ups with his missus. Yes. We'll call it push-ups, freaky. It wasn't pretending. But he would quite often come in. The building I worked in was haunted. I was a supervisor and had to do paperwork after everyone had gone home. I would hear footsteps all around me. That's actually very common, Arlen. He was trying to learn something in case he got a second chance to do the wild thing. When he first said marital relations, I first thought about therapy sessions. We probably needed it. We probably needed it. But yeah, he was constantly showing himself to us and my stepson. I'm a firm believer that he watched over us. I really think that was the case. And down the hill from where I lived was a tombstone of a World War II Marine. I'm not saying that was him, but giving the location, giving everything is very close to what, being the exact same with the tombstone, World War II Marine, full body apparition of a World War II Marine. I think it's a good possibility that was him. And I've showed that location on my live before when I pulled up Google Earth and showed you where that tombstone was and showed you where my house was. It's called different names now, and the buildings are different. But I don't remember what live I was on. I did show that one time. And there was, oh, that one wasn't cryptid. That was just me being me and hungry, and opportunity presented itself. Trying to think of another weird one I haven't told before. So there was one sunspot spot thing that took out the in-room wireless phones in the Weston, St. Francis, and San Francisco. My partner at the time had 3 computers on the network. He'd admin and network across. Oh, wow. The Bay had the same 3 Windows 95 computers on my, had the same 3 Windows 95. Computer on my floor had corrupted fonts. Oh, wow. Restarted, and all it took was restarting to fix it. There you go. Well, I'm glad that happened. I think I've told this one. I could be wrong. I was at Cop Spiker, Iraq, on ECP, and ECP is Incident Control Point, and I worked the night shift all the time. And I spent a lot of time outside. So, I had sniper fire that came at me, rockets. I was outside all the time. I was going through a nasty thing with my ex-wife. I'd caught her cheating on me, sending nudes to people with my kids sitting in her lap. I was not in a good mindset at the time. So I spent a lot of time sitting outside because I just didn't care. And I had a friend who was working at the Weston. Oh, wow. All in the same day too. Oh my gosh. And I remember the time I was sitting there, I was up against a concrete barricade, and I looked down the center lane. If I remember, yeah, it was the center lane. And I saw a shadowy figure that was like massively tall. It was freaking huge. I don't know that it was a jinn. That was kind of what I thought it was a jinn. I used to ghost hunt. I have an ovulus that spirits can talk through. I had some interesting times. Oh wow, I want to get one of those. Yeah, I love investigating, even paranormal. I love it. But I remember watching that thing walk from my right to my left, and I had 3 lanes that I took care of when I was on ECP. And I watched him literally walk from my right to the left on the other side of the lanes, in between the post before me and me. That kind of outage is unheard of now. Early iPhones used to fritz out radios in my car. Now we have one over a radio, and it's not a thing. Oh, wow, no kidding. I've never been near gin, bottled or not. Yeah, it was Dude, this thing, I don't know. I mean, I can just tell you it was a very tall, shadowy figure. Um, and my thought was Jin. That's literally what was popping in my head was Jin. I don't know. I can't tell you that it was. I can't tell you it wasn't. And I don't know how many times I've been on like night guard in the jungle or other places, and I almost started a firefight because I could have swore there was large groups of people walking in front of our area, and I would call out a challenge to them, and they would not respond. Every now and then they just look at me, but they keep walking. I've had that happen to me about 5 or 6 times, and that's in a jungle, in a desert, in multiple different locations. I've had that happen to me, and I just the only thing that stopped me was the more I thought about it and the more I watched them, I was like, these are ghosts. I try to stay away from all forms of spirits too. Sadly, don't always work though. Yeah, that's true. But I can tell you that stuff does happen. You see a lot of weird things on military bases at night. You really do. I was in a tower providing watch one time, and I thought I saw a large bipedal wolf creature. I don't talk about it often because I cannot confirm that's what I saw because it moved way too quick. And but the quick glimpse I got of it did look like a wolf creature, but I can't tell you that it was. That's why I really don't talk about it because I can't confirm it. My brother and I kicked out, showed up today in the middle of my house, freaked me out. His blood glucose was high, so we had to take him to the ER. Ever since then, I couldn't get my wireless stuff to work. Oh, so you think something attacked him? Yep. Yep. You heard Aurora. I have a photo of a shadow figure that I took years ago. Oh, that's so cool. I'd love to see that. Water, caves, geology, all increase energy. They absolutely do. Hey, DA, how's it going, bro? Um, so that's why, I mean, when I do these reports, I do these because I've seen very similar stuff, different time frames, but I've seen very similar stuff while in the military, deployed or not. I think we put out a lot of energy and it broke it. Okay, I mean, that's is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because I'm thinking it's a good thing, but I may be misunderstanding you on that. But yeah, so I mean, so when I do these reports on these military versus monsters, I enjoy it because A, I'm a veteran, and B, I've seen similar stuff. Now I didn't do the giant of Kandahar. That thing's covered so much. That's why I didn't really cover it. I mean, that is another one, but it's extremely popular. Okay. I wanted to try to hit some that's not really talked about, like the water serpent from 255 BC in the Romans, the Billy apes, the beast of Jevadon. I mean, all these other. Hey, Jessica. These are things that some of them are talked about, but they're not talked about a lot. And I think we need to bring lights to these. It's a family thing. Like a friend, when he exited, the Wi-Fi goes out and he's native. My mom is a medium. I think we just put out extra. That could be. Yeah, that could be. But if you guys get a chance, Brotherhood of the Wolf, check that out. That is about the Beast of Jevadon. It's a good one. It's not extremely accurate, but it is a good one. Eric, what I've been discovering is that there was several giants of Kandahar incidents, not just one. I agree with you 100% on that, DA, and that's something I've said for a long time too. I believe it was a family group there. They just had one of them that was like, I'm going to take you out because I'm hungry. But all the reports you'd hear about these things would suggest that what you're talking about is extremely accurate, and I would agree with you on that. The building I worked in was close to Fort Jackson. For those who don't know, that's in South Carolina, South Crackalacky. So could that shadowy figure be probably tied to that? I mean, that's a good choice. That movie is so well made. It is, Isabel. I'm not watching the Super Bowl either. Screw that. Yeah, no. I've got the movie bookmarked. Okay, freaky good. Yeah. not just a family group. This is the type of incident happened multiple times in different units. And it's been going on throughout history, DA. I mean, just the most popular one is the giant of Kandahar. There's so many reports coming from that area for generations of these type of giants. So I agree, yes. I'd rather talk Eric, rather watch Eric than talk to the huge. Yeah, yeah. I have no use for that. So I don't even care about the NFL anymore. I've watched maybe 2.5 games total this year. I'm really liking the UFL. That is a smash mouth old school football. I'm really liking it, so I'm going to try to watch that this year. The Brother of the Wolf does explore one of the two theories. It's a beautiful short story. Absolutely. Absolutely, it is. Apparently, it happened a few times to Russians back when they occupied Afghanistan. Yes, you are correct. And I actually forgot about that, DA. You are absolutely correct. And I believe they also got in a firefight with this thing, and some of their people disappeared too. If my memory serves me correctly, I could be wrong, but I want to say that happened to this Russian team as well. There's a pilot that reported a giant in a village working with the people flew over twice to make sure he saw what. Yeah, I think I remember something about a pilot and seeing one. I don't remember it working with people, but it could have. I may be mistaken on that. Niners kept losing when I was watching and I gave up. Oh, yeah. Allegedly, they lost an entire Spetsnaz. That's okay. That's what I thought. Thank you. I was thinking that. Spetsnaz. That's right. Yes, so I was right. That's right. Yeah, yeah, they did. They lost an entire Spetsnaz team. And those you don't know, the Spetsnaz team is almost on par with the United States Marines. I mean, they are a badass group of people. That shadow figure was close to Saw an Air Force base. There you go. I mean, it could be tied to it. You know, I've seen some weird crap out in that big kitty litter box. I mean, I've seen some weird crap out in that big kitty litter box. But I've also seen weird crap in all places around the world that I've been to, military-wise or not. I've seen it. And one of the most supernaturally heavily influenced places I've ever been around this world was actually Japan. The most haunted place I've ever been around this world was Hawaii. Japan has a crap ton of supernatural activity. And supposedly there was images online somewhere, and I'm trying to locate them of a Russian Hindi carrying away. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm not like a lot of reports that came out of their DA. They've mysteriously vanished like a fart in the wind. So I think they're purposely being taken down. But if you could find that, that would be cool. I wonder how related those are to Jen. That's the thing, you know, and like I've talked about several times, you know, I talk about no man's land in France during World War I. No man's land was that place in between the trenches where no man wanted to venture because you was surely planning on being unalive being in that area. And both sides, German and Americans, both talked about seeing these large, frail, gaunt creatures going around and eating bodies in no man's land. And if you actually listen to the description, you can either say it was one or two things: a ghoul, which is a jinn, which is what a lot of them called it. A lot of them called it a ghoul, but a ghoul sounds very much like a Wendigo. That's something to think about. I'm planning on doing a show about all the other incidents that happened. Heck yeah, bro. Heck yeah. My people come from the islands that are similar to Hawaii. There's loads of old stories, water, volcanic rock. Yeah, oh yeah. Hell yeah. Someone needs to change their name, misbehave. Is that Transformers? I'm trying to locate copies. Yeah, I mean, I'll try to, if I come across something, I'll send it to you, DA. But a lot of stuff that I used to be able to find, I can no longer find. Even stuff I was able to find 4 years ago, I can't find now. They've all just mysteriously vanished like a fart in the wind. And I think it's because they're purposely being taken down. I really, really do. I mean, I don't know how many times I tried to send you something that I'd found and it's disappeared. It's gone. I've noticed that too. A lot of old reports and images are being scrubbed from the internet. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yes, even on the Wayback Machine, you're absolutely correct on that. Yes, and that aggravates me because I don't know how many times I went to the Wayback Machine, Isabel, to find this stuff because I was sure I was going to find it there, and it's even gone from that. So it makes me wonder if Big Brother didn't buy the Wayback Machine, and that's why it's gone. And yet they used to say once it's online, it's yeah, agreed. Lots are gone, even way back. Yep. Yeah, and that causes a huge problem for us. So I mean, I love stuff that I can get from mouth from eyewitnesses. So like when I was talking about the rock apes and the flying humanoids and the UFOs in Vietnam, I literally firsthand heard those stories from eyewitnesses growing up and even while I was in the military. I think it's a good idea to keep your own copies of everything you find. Yeah, you got to. You got to start doing it. But I've had copies, Isabel, that I know for a fact that I saved. I made it, put it on Microsoft on a deal, saved it, put it on my external hard drive, and it's even vanished from there. You too, DA. Thanks for coming in, bro. Oh, yeah. I'll try to find it, but I haven't seen it in a couple of years. Tried to search for it on YouTube and nothing comes up anymore. Absolutely. Okay, not suggesting file sharing sites, but what about file sharing sites? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I know for a fact that I found stuff and I saved it on a program and put it on my external hard drive. And then I try to go in and look for it and it's completely gone. Yeah. You want to share a file, put it in a cake? Heck yeah, man. So, oh wow, we're over that 2 hour mark. Anybody got any last minute questions for me before we shut her down for today? I want to give you a special thanks to everybody coming in, joining me on my 100th episode. I hope you enjoyed this topic. I know I do, but I have a personal tie to this topic. That's why I wanted to do this for my 100th because this really pertains to me just as much as these stories are older than I am, but I've been there and I've experienced stuff like this. So that's why I wanted to do this type of topic and saved it for my 100th episode is because of that. Thanks, Isabel. Thanks, Emuriel. Thanks, Lynn. Yeah. I love this stuff. That's why I do little stories of military versus monsters. I wanted to do a big 2 hour show on it besides these little stories. Wartime Stories is a great channel for this topic. I need to try to remember that, Isabel. So I was born in I lost it. Monticello, Kentucky. The most haunted houses in the city. Cousins of mine owned the house around 1900. The mother, dad, and son died with the big flu that happened. Oh, wow. Thanks, Bobby. Forgotten History. I think I've seen that one, Roxanne. Yeah. So that's cool. So I want to give a special shout out to my new subscribers, to all the way to my OGs. You guys are awesome. You guys make this channel what it is. And I'm truly grateful for every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for choosing to listen to this old hillbilly talk. Give a shout out to my mods. Roxanne and Corey were in here tonight. You guys make things pop and help me out so much. And I'm truly, truly grateful for all mine. I'm truly grateful for Roxanne, Corey, William, and Jeff. They really helped me out during this show, and I'm extremely grateful for them. The daughter died later at 28. The house was closed and not reopened until 1997. Oh my gosh. Wow. And sadly, that's not the only time I've heard that. That makes you go, Arr? when you hear that. I just lost my train of thought now. The remix of Footsteps is now available. Oh, I forgot to check. I think it's available in public. It may not be until later on this week. If you get a chance, I know it's been up on the members only for at least a week, but I think it's available on the public now. Go check it out. Let me know what you think of that short story I wrote. My Ihan Yar readers, please get back with me on chapters 1 through 18, what you think so far. I've finished chapter 19. I've got to release it, but I'm kind of waiting on the feedback on these other chapters first. I'm one chapter away from finishing that book. Uncle Fluffy has to be half. So with that being said, everybody, peace, love, and blessings to everyone. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate this. Thank you for joining me on the 100th. This is a good milestone. I've been doing this show since December 3rd of 2023. And I have grown personally with this channel, and I've grown a subscriber wise by leaps and bounds. And I'm truly, truly thankful for every single one of you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this 100th very special for me. And thank you I can't wait to see what else we make of this show. Every time I see your live, I'll do, oops, I lost it. Wait for it to pop up over here. Every time I see your live, I'll do what I can to be there. I feel less crazy knowing I'm not the only one. Heck yeah, Isabel, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. So with that being said, I hope to see you guys next week. I don't know what the topics are right now, but much love. Roll out. Hell yeah, Tanya. Man, I love that. I'm sorry. I love that. Made it back and you're finished. Yeah, you have to watch the rerun. Until next week, guys, peace, love, and blessings to every single one of you guys. Thank you for the super sticker, Bobby. Appreciate that a lot. You're awesome. So until then, bye.
Shadows where whispers hum. The air is thick where the strange things come. Behind the curtain where the fearless go. Welcome to the bizarre and the unknown. Dare to tread where the darkness hides. Your pulse will race, your breath will freeze in this realm of uncanny mysteries. Dare to tread where the darkness hides. Through the cracks of the world's thin sides. Join if you will take the dare. Where we learn of things that scare. The bazaar wears a wicked grin. This world pulls you slowly in, but once you're here, you'll never roam.